his first objective is to somehow relieve himself of this pain that's in his neck and in the back of his mind. And that pain has a name. It's named Walt Disney. I'm going to get rid of this guy. So what he decides to do is, as they're working there, and they had two characters. They had Oswald the Rabbit, or Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, as they sometimes named him in some of the series or some of the episodes. And they had an early version of Felix the Cat, a really early version of Felix the Cat. Thing about this is that Mintz was not stupid. Mintz had a pretty good plan. What he decided to do is he married the two characters together. He got some animators and he said, okay, I need you to take the Oswald Rabbit design and the Felix design and put them in and make one person, make one character out of it. That's what I want. And they did that. Okay, so now he has this character. They start running a couple of episodes with the character. They start making a couple of films with the character so that the people in the studio could get used to seeing this character, right? Then he calls Walt Disney into his office. He tells Walt, he says, it's been great that you're actually such a loyal employee working here. But it's come to our attention that we no longer need your services, you know. And so Walt's like, he's confused. He doesn't know what to think. He's like, well, you know, I actually started with me and your wife, you know, geez, I actually helped start the studio. Yeah, that may be true. And we're going to have to, you know, give you a lot of congrats on that, but we don't need you anymore. So Walt's like thinking, okay, well, not a problem. I'll just take all my things and I'll take all the key drawings for my character. I'll just take them with me and I guess I'll seek employment somewhere else. And once he reaches for the drawings or the designs, the key main designs, Charles stops him and he's like, there's going to be a problem here. We own Oswald the Rabbit. We own that. And so Charles states this to Walt Disney, and Disney comes back with a reply like, well, I don't think so because I have a copyright on Oswald the Rabbit. Yeah, we're going to need that. We're going to need that. I don't think I can let you have that. Well, the last couple of films that we've made have been like a collaborative design of Oswald and Felix. We've married them together. So technically, we kind of own Oswald. We've owned him for like, geez, several months now. You know, and we already have a copyright. We just was hoping that you would actually just relinquish the one you have. What if I don't relinquish it? Well, that's very simple, Mr. Disney. Very simple. We're going to sue you. I have the papers drawn up right now for a lawsuit. I was hoping that you would actually take a stand like that so we could sue you. And so Disney is really confused. He doesn't know what's going on. He's wondering why Mintz is so bent out of shape behind him and why he doesn't like him. You know, and then Charles discloses to Walt Disney. He tells Walt Disney, you know, I don't like you. I never liked you. And he's like, well, we haven't known each other that long yet, but I've known of you, and I've never liked you. Ever. So this puts like an emotional scar on Walt Disney. And a lot of people seem to think that this is the reasoning why Disney, when he later on went to make his own studio, kind of treated people the way he treated people, because he had gotten slighted with his character. And so Disney actually, when you work for Walt Disney Studios, in the contract, it actually states that in the event, how does it go? In the event any character design is made at our studio, it belongs to the Disney Studios. And that what they're saying is that if you're working at Disney and you're sketching something out using like a Disney pen or pencil, or using Disney paper, that belongs to them. Your character might be on that paper. You might say, well, this is my character. Yeah, but it's on our paper. If you can remove it from our paper, then you can have it. I can't do that. Okay, well, then it's ours.
If you bring your own paper.
Huh? You bring your own paper, then you're fine. You bring your own paper, then you're fine. But the point is, if you use their materials, because everywhere in the studio are cameras. You know, those big bubbles. There are cameras everywhere. You know, so not only will they ask you in a nice way you know, about your design that happens to be on their paper. Even if you actually say, well, hey, you know, I think you might be, I think you might be misinformed. I don't think that's on there. I don't even think that. No, I don't even remember. I don't even sketch around. I don't do that. I don't do that. Well, let's look at the tape here. On this tape, it has you sketching right there. I think that's our paper. We can go closer if you want. And the Disney paper actually has an embossed Mickey Mouse on it. And the Disney pencils have like an embossed Goofy on them, you know. So, you know, I mean, they've taken liberties to actually like secure whether or not a talented person is going to come in and be working for them and be sketching around and mistakenly kind of sketch and use their material, you know. And then, you know, I mean, you're going to do what everybody would do. You fold it up and you put it in your pocket. You're walking out, you know. But then they're going to stop you and they're going to say, well, we're going to need to relieve you of that paper that's in your pocket. You know, or if you walk out and you have a pencil or a pen, you know, in your possession, they're going to ask you for it, you know. And the only reason, they say the reason, one of the main reasons a lot of people seem to think is because of what happened at Disney years ago when he was a young guy and his character had gotten taken from him, you know, because Disney sought to retain the Oswald the Rabbit design. Unfortunately, the studio didn't actually get like ownership of the design until after Disney was dead. It was years later. Then they got ownership. Then they got Oswald back. You know. But there was just, I mean, the guy Mintz. I don't want to call him a diabolical like guy, but what he did is he put it in his estate so that everyone who was still related to him, they had ownership of the design. And he actually made it a point that all of his children would actually like go back and they would actually take the copyright and they would update the copyright. And unfortunately, I mean, there was a moment where the copyright had expired, and Walt Disney Studios actually jumped on it and they acquired the Oswald the Rabbit character. But that's really going, wow, that's going to great extremes. I mean, Oswald's really not that great of a character. It's okay, you know. It's not worth, you know, seeking after for years and years. It's not that great. It's, you know, but he wouldn't let it go. And the point I'm trying to make is that something like this occurred to Disney years ago, and it's probably, it may not be the main reason, but it's probably one of the reasons behind some of the things that Walt Disney did while he was alive in his studio. You know, the reason why he actually wouldn't allow women to do the drawing part. Probably the reasoning why Disney felt that if you worked in the studio and you had a character, you need to keep the character at home, or you need to keep it in your own possession. You never should see it. What's that guy's name? The guy that did 5-0, the 5-0 character. I can't think of his name.